The GOP needs to hear this. Right now, the American dream is dying all around us. Between Bill Gates, the CCP, and others buying up so much real estate, home ownership is becoming an impossibility for everyday Americans. And our goal in 2024 needs to be to save the American dream. This is much more important than anyone realizes, and I'm going to list out how in this video. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? VinceDao here. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. So over the weekend, I saw this from one of those liberal Snapchat news things that said, landlords are parasitic worms draining your future. Now, is that really true? We'll assess the accuracy of that in a second, but this is clearly kind of made in response to the fact that, yeah, a lot of people have noticed. Have you seen the housing prices lately? Whether that's rental or buying it, it's all ridiculous. It's all expensive. And it got me thinking that Republicans and conservatives need to start figuring out a serious solution to the housing issue. Because if you look at the market right now, one thing is for sure, no one can buy a home right now. Property is too expensive. Interest rates are too high. That's partially why people are falling into renting stuff, right? That's why we're becoming this economy of renters. It's not affordable. Now, it should go without saying that promoting home ownership for everyday Americans should be a top priority for conservatives. Home and land ownership is what gives people a stake in society. It builds generational wealth. It gives people the space to raise those large nuclear families that conservatives want. It's a core part of the American dream. It is the American dream in a lot of ways. And right now, that dream is being robbed from you. But why is that? You see, the left always gaslights on this issue. Firstly, they blame landlords, right? And sure, lots of landlords are scumbags, but your average upper middle class real estate guy who rents out a few condos or houses is not the reason that rent or mortgages are so high. It's just not true. It's not reality. Or the left will say, well, this is why we need to build more affordable housing, right? In other words, you don't like homeless people, you don't like expensive stuff, well, you better start accepting public housing projects right in your suburban neighborhood. That's a bunch of nonsense. Don't fall for that. But why are homes really so expensive these days? This is a genuine question we have to ask. Well, it is supply and demand. The market is inflated. But wait a minute, how does that make any sense? Because ever since Biden took office, the prices of homes have been ridiculously high. So who's buying all the homes? Don't people buy stuff when it's cheaper, right? But apparently, so many people are buying these overpriced homes that Biden raised the interest rates just to try to slow that down and balance out the market. But wait a minute, how does that make any sense, right? We just came out of lockdowns, so everyone is poor, nobody has money, the homes are overpriced, inflation is high, and yet we had to supposedly raise interest rates because too many people were buying overpriced homes? I'm going somewhere with this, don't worry, but does that make a lot of sense to you? Who is buying the homes right now? Because clearly it's not everyday Americans. It's not your middle class family trying to start their life because they can't afford this stuff. But someone is clearly buying the homes, so who's buying the homes? I'll give you the answer. It's not middle class people. It's a bunch of big entities that don't have your interests in mind. Firstly, as you may have heard on Fox and other places, a lot of it is foreign entities, right? You got the Chinese government. You also got a lot of just rich Chinese investors who are trying to take advantage of the American real estate market. But there's also a lot of domestic people doing it too. We obviously know about Bill Gates, who has bought up a ton of farmland in the United States. He's a big reason why the land in Montana is actually so expensive, because you'd expect Montana to be the really cheap place, right? Nope, not when evil mad scientist billionaires are buying it all. And then you have firms like BlackRock, who are buying all of these homes just so that you cannot have them. And then when that creates a shortage of housing because people like that and firms like that are hogging it all, then they'll rent it out to you at a jacked up price. Kind of evil, isn't it? Well, that's the current state of the American economy. How can you live the American dream like this? Well, you can't. So therefore, it is fundamental to the future of this country that we fix this issue of big money entities basically hogging all the real estate, right? Now, obviously, the left does not provide an actual solution to it. They just blame, like I said, the landlords or something like that. But neither is the right at the moment. So here's what I propose. To Trump, to the GOP, whoever, real estate reform needs to be a top part of your 2024 platform. Okay? The first thing we need is a blanket ban, or at least a moratorium, preferably a ban, on all foreign entities from buying American real estate. I know some Republican governors have been trying to ban the Chinese government from buying land near military bases. Yeah, that's good, but it's a half-hearted solution. Why should foreigners be buying our land at all? American real estate is for American citizens. That needs to be the policy. So that's step one. Get foreign entities out of the market entirely. But step two is we need some type of antitrust or whatever action, I don't know, against Bill Gates, BlackRock, and all of this domestic stuff. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I don't know all the constitutional avenues, okay? I'm just a college kid making videos. I just know it needs to happen. You need to break up their monopoly on real estate, okay? One of your smart policy wonks can figure out how to do that. I'm just telling you, it needs to be done. It needs to be in the platform. And I will tell you, this stuff is important. It may not be the most electorally exciting, at least on the surface, but I hope you can understand why it matters. It is vital if the American dream is to survive. And I know someone is going to come at me saying, that's socialism. You want the government to seize land? You want the government to regulate real estate? Yeah, I guess. I want the market to actually be free for people like you. Foreign governments and evil billionaires having a monopoly on American real estate is dystopian. You know it's dystopian. So you can call it capitalism, you can lecture me about free markets or whatever you want, but you're coping. Okay, you are unserious. You and I both know this is not a free market. You and I both know it needs to be stopped, okay, intuitively. So just don't bother with that nonsense. Monopolization isn't good. And if you consider this an exercise of capitalism, I think that's pretty dystopian. So, you know. Now, I will admit, it seems like kind of a boring issue on the surface, but it's also not. Because you want to talk about suburban voters, the swing moderates, the people trying to refinance their house right now or buy a house? You best believe it matters to them a lot more than you think. Plus, there are ways to make this appealing on the campaign trail. You don't have to get so nerdy about the specifics of it. Just say, we're going to bring down the cost of homes and restore your American dream. That's it. Who doesn't want to hear that? It's a win-win in my opinion because we win, the American dream is saved, the elites will be mad because we're breaking up their power, the left will gaslight about landlords or something and they'll be mad, and libertarians will cope and seethe and defend the property rights of Bill Gates and the Chinese Communist Party. So what's there to dislike? It's a home run idea. I say adapt it, do it. Whoever's listening, make that a thing. Save the American dream. It's important. All right, guys, well, that'll wrap up this video. Just a quick idea I had. Figured I'd put that out there. I'm probably going to do a few videos similar to this to close out the year, the type of like New Year's resolution for conservatives type of stuff. So hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, remember to like and subscribe. Subscribe if you are new. Alpha moves only. God bless and peace.